Textbook analysis. School internship program. Textbook analysis is a technique used to assess or judge the quality of a textbook. It is a systematic way to evaluate textbook in terms of its nature, characteristics, organization, content, presentation, etc. Now, the question is, why do we need to analyze a textbook? The process of education in most of the school in India and even abroad can be summed up in one phrase as the textbooks show the teaching and learning. Actually, textbooks are authored by experts and persons having specialization in the subject matter, level, age, psychology, standard, and status of prospective readers. But unfortunately, textbooks which are written nowadays are not up to the standard. That's why textbooks have been criticized for numerous reasons for being of low standard, and sometimes contents inside are too complex for teachers and students to understand. Therefore, textbook analysis is needed, which can be done on the basis of certain criteria that help in assessing the general and specific qualities of a textbook that will further facilitate to write and use a good textbook. That's why textbook need to be analyzed. Look at this picture. What do you see? We see the word excel in mathematics. If I ask you, what is this excel in mathematics? Some of you will say that this is the title or the name of the textbook. Now, what do we see? We see the name of the publisher, the place of publication, the class where the textbook is meant to cater, the name of the author, and the price of the book. All these are the general information regarding a textbook. Interns are expected to write down all these information when analyzing a textbook, like the title of the book, Excel in Mathematics, name of the author, R.C. Sharma, year and place of publication, 2019, New Delhi, name of the publisher, Amenta Publications, stage, primary, class 4, total number of pages, 220 pages, total lessons, 14 chapters or lessons, price, rupees 160. Now, let us discuss the first component or aspect while analyzing a textbook. That is, the physical aspects of the textbook and the area which need to be looked and analyzed carefully are whether the cover page is colorful and attractive. In turn, we'll have to write down a remark in the remark column like yes or no, good or not good, etc. For example, if an intern feels that the cover page is colorful and attractive, he may write yes in the remark column. But if he feels that the cover page is not colorful and attractive, he may write no in the remark column. Whether the quality of paper is good. If an intern feels that the quality is good, he will write good in the remark column. And if not, he will write not good in the remark column. Whether the quality of binding is good, whether font size used are appropriate, etc. So in turn, we'll have to write down a remark in the remark column to support their answer like yes or no, good or not good, etc. by providing evidences or examples with page numbers. In the second component or aspect, we will discuss about the contents of the textbook and the important area which need to be analyzed are whether contents are simple, brief and clear. So same as before, they will write yes or no in the remark column. Whether contents are up to date, whether facts presented are accurate and relevant, is there any printing mistakes in the book, and so on. Intern will have to write down a remark in the remark column as before to support their answers. The third component which we will discuss is the presentation of the textbook. And the important area which need to be analyzed are whether the sentences are long or short, whether the sentences are appropriate or not, whether illustrations given are adequate and up to date, does the language style and vocabulary simple and appropriate for the learner, and so on. The fourth component which we will discuss is the organization of the textbook, and the important area which need to be analyzed are whether chapters are properly organized, is there any linkage and sequencing of chapters within and across the textbook, is there any concept in the textbook which are not appropriate or difficult or abstract for that particular class and stage? Do questions given in the exercise cover all the concepts, include variety of questions, provide opportunities for reflection, etc. As In turn, we should remember that themes and concepts introduced in the textbook should be consistent with children's age and cognitive development. It should be observed that all activities are related to real life experiences and context of children. Interns should remember to see if there is scope for exploration by children to go beyond the textbook. There should also be a variety of questions which provide opportunities for reflection of the child. So, in the fifth component, we will discuss about child-centered approach. The following are the important areas which need to be analyzed in the child-centered approach, like are themes and concepts introduced in the textbook consistent with children's age and cognitive development? What portion of activities given in the textbook are related to real life experiences and context of children? Does the textbook provide scope for children's questioning and so on? The sixth component or aspects is the scope for activities. And the important area which need to be looked and analyzed is, are activities given in the textbook sufficient? Are instructions or information given for activities clear for both teacher and children? Does the textbook have the scope for joyful learning? To what extent does the textbook involve children in exploring, observing, analyzing, and so on? The seventh component which we will discuss is figures and diagram. And the important area which need to be analyzed is whether figures and diagrams that are present in the textbook adequate, whether figures and diagram child friendly, is there any gender bias in figures and diagram, whether figures and diagram colorful, whether figures and diagram place and leveled in appropriate place or space, whether figures and diagram are relevant and appropriate, and so on. All textbooks should promote constitutional values by using names of children related to different communities and ethnic background. Also, textbooks should also contain contents for promoting communal harmony and strengthening national integration by mentioning festivals of different communities. Gender and inclusive perspective should also be addressed in textbook. The requirements of children with special needs in making the text should be considered. Environmental issues and concern should also be given priority in the textbook, and so on. That's why in the 8 components or aspect we will discuss about other concerns like constitutional values, gender issues, inclusive education or children with special needs, environmental issues, etc. The following are some of the important areas which need to be analyzed. In what way textbook promotes the constitutional value as specified in NCF 2005, like trust and mutual respect, respect for diversity, human dignity and rights, secularism, etc. Does the textbook address gender concerns adequately, like equality of sexes, positioning of men and women in visuals, etc.? Does the textbook provide for inclusive pedagogy? Does the content facilitate children understanding on environmental values? And so on. After learning about all these components and aspects on how to analyze a textbook, it is also important to learn how to write and present all this information. The following are few steps in writing textbook analysis. Number 1, selection of textbook. Intern will have to select a textbook of any subject for any class from elementary level, and it is recommended that they choose the prescribed textbook according to the school curriculum, preferably embossed or NCERT textbook. Condition of the textbook. Before analyzing the textbook, intern need to see that the textbook is in a very good condition. Number 3, process of analyzing. Intern are suggested to start analyzing the selected textbook by using the suggested textbook tool, which we have discussed above and which can be downloaded in PDF form from the comment section below. Number 4, report writing. While writing a report, they have to remember to start with the introduction about textbook analysis. Need and importance of textbook analysis. General information of the textbook. In turn, are required to extract the basic general information from the textbook they are analyzing. Analysis. The report in descriptive form will be written according to the analysis made on the above 8 components or aspects. Analyzing should be done systematically according to the components and areas mentioned in the tool. Suggestions. Intern must also give some critical comments and suggestions in the report, which will help for further improvement of the textbook in the future. Conclusion. Intern will have to write down about what they have learned and experienced from such an exercise. It is important to note that these components and aspects which I have discussed are not exclusive but sample on how to analyze a textbook. Thank you.